I'm sure I'm not the only one who will have those moments in life, whether they're often or not, where you are in a funk, feeling off, kind of want to cry, kind of want to scream, kind of just want to go hide in a hole until you feel better, emotionally off, lacking clarity, not knowing what to do. If you have felt like that and you're like me, astrology actually can give you a really nice tool, and the Enneagram, which I might talk about in this video, I haven't decided yet, on how to navigate that. So in this video, I want to share how I use astrology and maybe even the Enneagram to navigate these hard moments in life when you just feel like. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Isabelle, your spiritual rebel friend. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, book a reading. Today, I want to talk about how I use astrology, Enneagram, to get out of a funk. Really all personality systems, because in the end, I think these systems are really, really cool. I love astrology. I love the Myers-Briggs. I love Enneagram. I love numerology. I love gene keys. These are all great systems, but in the end, I feel like they're only beneficial if applied, and they can really help us get through some hard life situations. And I've been recently kind of in a funk, in and out for about a week or more now, and it's very frustrating because I was starting to do better, and there's a deeper issue, it seems like, going on mentally for me, and these tools have helped me kind of navigate this emotional distress that I'm feeling and helps me find my clarity. So I kind of just wanted to share my thought processes on how I use these systems to actually help myself, and how then therefore you can use them too. Because yes, astrology is fun, horoscopes, the Enneagram can be a fun label, Myers-Briggs is a cool test to take, but in the end these things are really, really helpful. And I think a lot of people personally that I know in my own life struggle with the applicability of these systems. So I wanted to share how I use them. Let me know in the comments below after watching if these are things you already do. Let me know if this helps you. Let me know how you use these systems to your benefit. But recently I've been in a funk. I've been traveling around, and we've been doing, for one, a lot of miles. We've basically driven 1,000 miles in less than a month, and it's been draining. I think more than half of that amount of mileage was done over the span of like 3 days. So it's been really tiring. It's been a lot. I saw some friends recently, about a month ago, who I'm away from, and I think that also triggered a bit of feelings of loneliness, especially on the road where you don't really talk to people, especially at the ripe young age of 20. You don't really meet many like-minded people nor people your age while you're traveling around. And granted, I'm traveling with my family, but there's a lot of distress kind of going on in the family too. My sister has had a lot going on for her as well. She's kind of feeling a bit stressed out, bummed out, not getting her goals, and therefore pushing me to help her with achieving some of these, which are cool. You know, maybe the idea of flying to France for one, next month, and that's a bit overwhelming to think about, just because the things she wants me to do are hard. And also thinking about recently, you know, trying to not want relationships because that's codependent, but also kind of wanting a relationship, and also not thinking that's really the problem. Maybe I'm just a bit overwhelmed. Maybe I just don't have clear enough goals, and I don't know what my goals should be. There's a lot going on in my brain, a lot cycling around, and it feels like there is no solution, so to say, as far as following the thoughts. And I've been trying to reflect more on my personality types to help me navigate this, because the overwhelm sometimes just gets to be too much, and it ends up being just impossible to navigate. So I need a moment to pause. And so for starters, I've been thinking about a lot of my moon sign. The fact is, I feel like my moon and my Mars are really oftentimes big roles in my life. My Mars being in Gemini really does show this hyperactivity that I have, which sometimes can be good, but I think oftentimes leads me to just basically wanting or feeling lacking because I need such a high level of stimulus. I think that definitely plays a role. And the more I feel like I have possibilities to act on that desire for high stimulus, the better off I am. That's probably why I felt better recently. That's kind of where my thoughts go to. I've been trying to fulfill my actions as much as possible, but I notice there's still something lacking. And I then go to think about my moon sign. My moon being in Cancer really tells me that there could be just an emotional disconnect going on an unconscious level that's keeping me from feeling at ease, which then therefore gets me to go towards thinking of higher stimulus. And then I feel like the most obvious one is my South Node. I feel like plays out so often. I feel like with my South Node in Scorpio, I tend to just think too deeply about things, which this whole situation of feeling in a funk is kind of all about. So for starters, those are 3 tools if you're feeling in a funk that I would recommend. Your South Node, I know, really shows your overused gifts and talents, but also basically your vice, so to say. I know for me, oftentimes things get better in life when I do just take them with a grain of salt, focus more on Taurus energy, see things more superficial, indulge in more comfort, and see things less deeply than they are. And then your Mars can kind of tell you what you need action-wise, and we tend to be overdoing human beings. Depending on your Mars placement, it might not be so dominant, but it does help me to look at, and knowing that I personally have a Mars in Gemini, I know is so strong for me. So that helps me a lot, and it could help you. And I feel like I know your moon sign really is your emotional pattern. So I'm trying to ask myself right now, like, what is my emotional pattern? My moon in Cancer really does mean that I do want a sense of closeness and security. And it's in my 7th house, so I really do want that one-on-one connection. And this is even more affirmed when I look at my gene keys, which I'll then talk about next. But to wrap up this point, it really just shows how much I need one-on-one connection. I've kind of got that, not really. There's probably just a closeness factor that I'm not fulfilling for myself. The question is, how do I want to fulfill that? What's my expectation with that? How can I make myself feel more secure? Am I also just tired? Is it possible that I have bad food in my diet? My Mars in Gemini is in my 6th house, which means to me that my health is more sensitive, and just knowing myself, I know my health is sensitive. Maybe the same goes for all of us, maybe not so much for you. Do I just need more sleep and restoration? Possibly. I also look at my gene keys to kind of figure this out too, because again, it kind of justifies actually similar to my moon and my Mars. I have for my radiance, which is my health, the gene key of dynamism, and I know that means that I need to move through life dynamically and feel like I have opportunities to be dynamic with my movement, quite literally in a physical sense. And I've been a bit stagnant the last 3 days, and even just as a general over the last month, I've been on a routine of doing mountain biking, which is cool, but it really drains me. It's not exciting for me. I don't really love it, and I haven't basically had anywhere where I feel like, ooh, I'm testing my skill set. So similar to that Mars and Gemini, I want to do new things. So probably part of me goes, I probably just need more dynamism in my life, more novelty, so to say. What is something I could strive for that's a new thing? And I know I have those goals set for in the fall to pursue that more, so I might have to just be patient. Also, I have for my Venus sequence in Gene Keys, I've learned a lot of line 2s. It's basically a 50-50 split between line 2s and line 1s, which means I need a lot of independence, but I also do genuinely need a one-on-one connection. And while I've been able to talk to my sister every now and then because she's been distressed, I feel like I can't plague her, so to say, with my problems, which is really my Enneagram 9 of avoiding conflict or being selfish. And then my family's been distressed. My mom and dad have been very distressed, so I haven't been connecting with them either. So it's probably that I've had a lot of emotions in the end that I have been unable to express because I'm trying to be easy, which is not necessarily a bad thing, I know, to be independent, but I can catch that knowing that I have my Enneagram 9 that I try to be conflict avoidant, and the fact that I want one-on-one connection but have a lot of distress going on around me probably simply just causes a deep sense of turmoil because I feel the sense of my needs are not important, and on top of it, I feel like I'm about to be pushed in the future to do more uncomfortable things, which really shouldn't be a bad thing, really should be a good thing. But basically, because I have a conflict of interest between my desire for novelty, my dynamism in my Mars and Gemini, and then my moon and line 2s, I have this pull between wanting comfort and security and love, so to say, and then fun. And I can't balance those right now. So that's where my brain goes to. I know I'm not really looking at the camera much while I'm talking, trying to put my thoughts together. Hopefully this is helping. I know it's at least helping me process my thoughts, but to conclude that more, really looking at your moon can tell you your emotional pattern you're playing out right now. Your Mars can tell you what you need as far as action, similar to knowing your radiance gene key. Paying attention to the lines you have in your Venus sequence in the gene keys can really tell you what you need to live a life you love, which is very similar to knowing your Venus. And just seeing your general tendencies throughout those can help. And that's how I apply that. I also know that I have a lot of fire energy in my chart, but I feel like it doesn't really apply right now, though it probably does, because I haven't basically got to have so I have a Sun in Aries and a Mercury in Aries, one of which is in my 5th house of fun. I have a high desire for high stimulus fun, and I haven't had high stimulus fun in a while. It's probably the part of me, so to say, that gets to be the life of the party, be loud, party hard, so to say. And I haven't done that in a while, so I'm probably just feeling a lack of stimulus and lack of fun, lack of lightness, which is then making me want to go more towards the depths, which is really my South Node, being able to seek depths. So looking at your South Node too and seeing how that's playing out. Are you getting pulled into it? That's a good question to ask yourself. And the Enneagram still does help. The Enneagram is also a lot of what's reflected in your Venus sequence, as I've learned. So either one works. It's also very similar to your moon sign, honestly, because that's also your inner child. But for me, I know my Enneagram 9, while I need harmony, I also need challenge, organization, loyalty, and goals, because my growth number's 3, my stress number's the 6, my wings are 8 and 1. And so not only do you have a core desire, but you also have to fulfill your wings needs, your stress number needs, and your growth number needs along with your core desire. So for me, I can go, okay, I haven't really challenged myself really this summer, which is good because I get tired out easily, and I am tired right now. But in a way, I do, similar to my, again, radiance purpose, or my radiance gene key, need dynamism in my life. Now that I'm saying it, I'm pretty sure my radiance isn't dynamism, but it's something similar as far as words. And I know I need to move. It says I need to move dynamically. But the point is, I haven't really challenged myself. Don't really have any challenges in my immediate environment. And so I'm probably feeling a sense of misalignment in the sense of I'm comfortable, but now my soul is tired, so to say, because I'm not challenging myself physically. Instead, I'm draining my soul energy. I have organization in my day-to-day life, so I know that need is good. Pretty much have harmony in my day-to-day life, so that's good. There's a bit of conflict around me, but not too much. Really, that shouldn't be the issue, so to say. There is, I think, the focus for me. I can go so often to looking at my growth number and go, okay, I don't feel like I have goals. So looking at your Enneagram's growth number and focusing on, am I reaching into it? Do I have something tangible that I'm doing to step into my Enneagram growth? Is very, very helpful for me. I know I have this, I'm really excited. I have a competition I'm doing in September for dance, which is super huge, but that's kind of so far out that I don't feel like I have any goals for right now. And on top of it, I don't know what my goals are outside of that. So while I have the goal to make money, I don't know what the goal of money serves. So then that goes back to, okay, circle back around to my birth chart. What are my needs and desires that my goals should serve? Okay, desire for connection with my moon in Cancer, desire for stimulus with Mars in Gemini, desire for fun with Mercury in Aries, a desire for comfort and indulgence with my North Node. I kind of have that all achieved. Sounds like I just need to dream bigger, which then takes me back to my Enneagram 9 and reminds me that my growth is a 3, which means I'm constantly going to be having to drink bigger, which is something that I'm not very naturally good at. It also makes me think of my Myers-Briggs. My cognitive functions, my third function is NI, which I know means that I'm not very good at projecting out possibilities in the future. So I probably just need to work on that more. And the best way I can do that is by putting myself into new situations, as I've learned from experience, and ask other people. Which then brings in the desire for connection. So then really I'm at the point where I realize, okay, based off of all this, I'm at a point where I need to not be afraid to take up space, ask for help, ask people questions, express my concern, and potentially face the fear of judgment, which is very likely just given my patterns in family dynamics and stuff. But that's where my brain goes to. Knowing my Myers-Briggs cognitive functions really does help me in remembering, okay, this is what I'm feeling right now is really one of my core struggles. I've experienced this before. I've been here before, and I've gotten out of it in the past. Simply, I can always think back to November of 2022 when I was really, really feeling lost in life. That was before I even started dancing. And I said, okay, we're just going to start with one thing. We're going to start dancing. I went to learn country swing dancing, changed my life. So there's something out there that I just don't know of. In the end, I feel like all these systems give me good tools to understand where I need to go. Hopefully that made all sense to you. But as a conclusion, the way you can use this to be a little more practical for you guys, if you're feeling like you're in a low point, confused, don't know what to do, there's a few ways you can use astrology and personology to help you. I would first say step 1, in a way, is look at your moon sign and what is your emotional need. If your emotional needs aren't met, you're going to feel distress. Look at your north node and south node. Are you in your south node tendencies? What are you supposed to grow towards? Look at your Enneagram number. Is your core desire fulfilled? And if so, then are you in your growth or not? You can go and take this even further by looking at your wings and fulfilling your wings and fulfilling your stress number. You can also then look at your astrology chart again and look at your Mars. What is your Mars need in daily action? What does your Venus need for life fulfillment? And then also looking at the gene keys to know what makes you feel radiant, what your sense of purpose is, where you may be struggling. I know for me, I can really read my gene keys and pinpoint one specific placement that's really causing me distress right now. As much as I need dynamism, there's a conflict of interest I feel in my vocation between fully surrendering control versus controlling everything that I need to navigate better, which is really connected to my Mars in Gemini, my little demon. If you haven't watched my video talking about my little demon, women's demon in their chart, I highly recommend it, even if you're not a female, because I feel like Mars is something that often plays out in our society as a negative, because we become human doings, not human beings. So in the end, use these systems to your benefit by asking yourself, are these each fulfilled or are they taking up too much space? And could they be throwing you through a thought pattern loop? I know for me, my Mars in Gemini so much throws me through a cycle, a pattern of feeling the need for stimulus. And as it is, as I feel like I've checked off something, I'm going to go ahead and just breathe after this and go crochet and listen to my Abraham Hicks as I always do. And things will probably feel better. And eventually I'll discover what the long-term goal is that I want to do. So let me know in the comments below. Did this help you? Do you use these systems like this already to help you get through hard times and focus on being proactive in your life? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you have no idea how still to do what I'm saying to do, and you are in a low place, stuck in a rut, don't know the way out, then I highly encourage you to book a reading where we can dive deep into this and I can give you a clear plan on how you can get to a better spot in life. Just book a reading in the link in the description below. Or if you want to learn to do this yourself, the first step you can take is to join my astrology course in the link in the description below, where I teach you how to be your own astrologer. We go through the Enneagram. We go through the zodiac signs, the houses. We go through planets. We go through everything you could possibly need to know to be a master astrologer. You can check it out in the link in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I sincerely hope you enjoyed and it was helpful to you. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and stay tuned for more videos. Let me know if this video helped you in the comments below. Once again, my name's Isabelle, and from my heart to yours, namaste.